Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Conscious CEO Experience first Facebook Live. This is resiliency rain dancer, broadcasting live from my Vancouver office here in Canada. What a gorgeous afternoon. I hope you can see me. Okay, I'm just learning this technology. I had to, since it's my first Facebook Live, I'm gonna do my best to work the technology as well as get you the content that I'm so excited to share with you. I hope that you can hear me. If you can hear me, maybe just type in, yes, I can hear you. And I got a heart, thank you. I actually can't see who it's from. I'm so sorry. I have to learn how to use this better, but you know, it's always the first time for everything. And if you can see me and hear me, send me a quick comment. I would really appreciate it. So today my topic is all about bouncing back from stress and burnout and even failure and even some trauma in your business. This is a topic that consistently comes up when I talk to potential clients and when I work with clients who are CEOs and executives, entrepreneurs, very, very high achieving leaders, and also very, very inspiring. And to me, I feel so humbled and honored to be working with such driven and they're mission driven, as well as so inspiring and just such big hearts, really wanting to make a difference at the same time that they're making money. So this broadcast is for you. So I thought I'd start today. It's Friday. I kind of like this idea of hanging out on Facebook Live at the end of the week. You know, I'm gonna call it Facebook Live Friday. And if this resonates with you, and if you feel like you want this content every week, then please leave me feedback on the comment below. And today I want to start off with a personal story. So there was a time when I really was struggling in my own business career as an entrepreneur. Back in 2014, I had invested $30,000 in this business in a box type of opportunity out of Phoenix, Arizona. And it was a combination of a certification for some leadership, communication and sales training, as well as a business opportunity. And while I really benefited from the certification itself, the period of a year of, you know, flying to different locations in California as well as Arizona, that was really great. I learned a lot. I also invested in a business opportunity, and I did invest a chunk of money, and I thought it would really complement my consultancy, my consulting business. And so a year later, I woke up to a phone call from one of the management team in that training institute. And I basically got word that the company was going down, and that, you know, the new COO at the time had made some bad decisions, and they were basically tanking. That entire company was tanking. And I thought, oh no, what about, you know, all the things they promised, and, you know, the systems that they said they were going to build, and the turnkey operations that they were going to share with us, that we, you know, all of us trainers invested in. And I had to really sit back and go, wow, I got involved. You know, I partnered up with a business, an organization, an institute that turned out to be a total flop. Like, it was a gong show, you know, a year later. They crashed and burned. And I just felt so deflated and disappointed, not only in that business opportunity that, you know, didn't quite take off, that I felt like I lost a lot of money in, but really the most painful part of this experience was I had actually involved my sister into business, and we were business partners in this venture, and she had wanted to make some extra income to be able to take care of her health more, and she also ended up losing time and losing money, and I felt horrible, not only like it didn't matter that I lost money, but to have to involve a family member and in something that I was first very confident in was just devastating, and in fact it affected our relationship. Everything is good now, but really the lesson that I wanted to impart in that story is that, when you're in business, you inherently take risks, and success is never a straight line. We all know, we've all experienced that it kind of goes more like this. Up, down, up, down. There's lots of hills and valleys. And what I really would love to share with you today is my top tips on how to bounce back from any kind of stress or setback, whether you're feeling burned out or you're feeling like, ooh, I need to find a better way to deal with the stress that's mounting as I'm running my business, or as I'm, leading this company as the CEO. So my first tip, and this actually comes from my article that I wrote, and it's on my website, called "Failure is Inevitable and Suffering is Optional," but suffering is optional, something like that. So failure is inevitable, suffering is optional. 5 steps to bounce back and emerge a winner in business. So first step really is to just recognize the loss. So anytime you have a failure or a setback, it can be so tempting to just kind of, shut the door and go hide under the blankets and not talk to anybody. And it can be a common feeling that like you're alone in the journey already, and then when you fall flat on your face, it's even more embarrassing, and a lot of shame, a lot of possibly guilt, a lot of anger, a lot of times towards ourselves. So taking the time to recognize the loss, and recognizing that, okay, it is valid, all of these feelings that I'm experiencing, and to just allow yourself to feel all the emotions that come with that experience. That's completely legit. Step 2 really is to, looking at my notes here. So step 2 is to expand your definition of success and failure to include both sides of the coin. So I don't know about you, but like I feel like in our society, we tend to glorify the idea of success, and we hear success stories, some of them overnight success stories, and you were like, wow, you get all starry-eyed, and we don't often hear about what it took for them to get from where they were to where they are now. We just hear the success story part, the end, the glory, the medal, the Academy Award, right? I've noticed more and more there's videos and memes and inspirational shares about the path, and I truly believe that success and failure are only 2 sides of the same coin. So if you're on the road to success, then inevitably you're going to experience some setbacks and failure. And connected to that, the third step really is to look at the failure in the eye. So there can be a tendency, because it's so painful, that we don't even want to look, we can feel the emotions surrounding it, and we can, sometimes we're forced to clean things up, right? We're forced to, deal with the financial aspect or the relationship aspect, when shit hits the fan, or when something doesn't work out, there's often that cleanup involved. But then after we get out of that fight or flight, you might have heard of the fight or flight, or the survival mechanism that happens when we're under stress or duress. So after we get out of that, it can be very easy to go, okay, like time to move on, or let's dust ourselves off, and let me just fix something here. Let's dust ourselves off and, move forward, trudge forward. It's really important to really look, examine, and evaluate what just happened, and how did it happen? How how did I get myself in this situation, and take 100% responsibility. It can be very challenging to go inward, because the tendency is to sort of point the finger outward. And I guarantee you, when you really look without judgment, so drop the judgment, drop the shame, drop everything that, assuming you've already felt all that in the beginning, look at it objectively. What decisions you make, what choices you make, and really learn from your failures. Okay, so my favorite line in this, it's in the article, you can read more after this video, is make friends with your failure. So treat failure like a personal friend, but don't make it about your person, right? So invite your failure for tea. Kind of the same expression, like invite your demons for tea. So I'm inviting you to bring in your failure for tea and get really intimate with it, but without making it about you. Don't take it so personally, right? And just be open to what it has to teach you. Ryan Holiday wrote this beautiful book called The Obstacle is the Way. I highly recommend you reading it if you're feeling like you want to read something along the lines of how you can use failures or obstacles or adversity as a doorway to sort of your next best self. You're more, maybe through that you'll have a gift. You'll find a gift that will give you the courage to start the next venture, or apply for that new executive position that is more aligned with your values and who you really are. Last but not the least, step 5 is give yourself permission to rest. I know this sounds so simple, but like I mentioned before, there's a tendency to just want to dust ourselves off, and you may even get that from society, our friends. I apologize, my phone just rang. So for our friends in society might go, yeah, it's been a month, it's been 6 weeks, it's been 8 weeks. Time to dust yourself off and jump on the bandwagon again. Go out and do something. If your instincts are telling you to cocoon a little bit and take care of your heart, take care of your mind, your body, then go do that. If you can afford it, then take more time off than you would normally think you need, because it's during this time that you get to regroup. And you never know, you might get that next brilliant idea, or that you might find your next business partner during this time. You might just come to recognize, the line of work that I'm in is not really speaking to me anymore. I've outgrown it. So time for me to rebirth a new vision, right? So all these things can only happen when we take the time to really give ourselves permission to rest after a period of failure or setback. So those are my top 5 tips on how to bounce back from stress, burnout, and failure or trauma when you're in business. And just to close, if you know me, you know that I love books. And I love always reading about books on the subject of business, money, success, mindset, even spirituality and just human potential. So for this broadcast, I am so thrilled to share with you one of my favorite books. And it is called, hopefully you can see, it's called Thrive, and it's by the amazing Arianna Huffington. A lot of you know who she is. And the subtitle is The Third Metric to Redefining Success and Creating a Life of Well-Being, Wisdom, and Wonder. Okay, so if you're someone who feels bogged down by your current business, if you're an entrepreneur, you're bogged down by your leadership career, if you're an executive and you're kind of in a place of, gosh, I need something to be different. You may not know what it is, but you absolutely know that something's not working. I highly recommend you get this book. I'm going to read you a passage. And, you know, I mean, the book itself, it's such a gem. It's such a, just a wellspring of both hard statistics. So she talks a lot about like statistics and the overall context of how stress and burnout essentially is an epidemic now in North America and actually a lot of places in the world. But then she really balances it with like some solutions that are so worthy of not only, you know, internalizing for yourself, but also sharing with your team or with your other colleagues. So here it is. There is a collective longing to stop living in the shadows, to stop hurting our health and our relationships by striving so relentlessly after success as the world defines it. And instead, tap into the riches, joy, and amazing possibilities that our lives embody. Coffee. So, I'm so moved by her words. Okay. So, it doesn't matter. Oh, Shaya just made a comment. Love your passion, clarity. Thank you. Thank you, Shaya. So it doesn't matter what your entry point is or what form your wake-up call takes. It could be burnout, sickness, addiction, the loss of a loved one, the ending of a relationship, or a line of poetry that stirs you. Or it could be my Facebook Live. Who knows? Or a scientific study about power, about the benefits of slowing down or sleeping or something, right? Whatever the entry point is, embrace it, right? Maybe you read some newspaper article or magazine article about, you know, when you get more sleep, you live longer, something like that. Or maybe it's your child who, you know, as you're tucking him or her into bed at night is going like, Mommy or Daddy, like, I hardly ever see you. Like, I don't even remember, like, the last time, you know, I feel like, you know, we haven't really had family time in, like, months, you know. That could be a wonderful wake-up call. So whatever that entry point is, embrace it, she says. You will find you will have the wind at your back because that's what our times are calling for. Remember that while the world provides plenty of insistent, flashing, high-volume signals directing us to make more money and climb higher up the ladder, there are almost no worldly signs reminding us to stay connected to the essence of who we are, to take care of ourselves along the way, to reach out to others, to pause to wonder, and to connect to that place from which everything is possible. So find your place to stand, your place of wisdom, your peace, and your strength. And from that place, remake the world in your own image, according to your definition of success, so that all of us, men and women, can thrive and live our lives with more grace, joy, compassion, gratitude, and yes, even more love. And she says onward, upward, and inward. Isn't that cool? So that's in this book, Thrive by Arianna Huffington, one of my favorites, that on the subject of, you know, success without all the stress and burnout. Just to close, I want to thank you all for joining. Those of you who were live, thank you for all the hearts. Really means a lot to me. And for those of you who are watching later on, please comment below and let me know what you think and what this stirs up for you. Last but not least, I want to invite you to my live workshop and webinar this month. As you know, I do one a month and based on a theme. The theme this month is about resilience, and I fully believe, I see it every day, that resiliency training is so essential for conscious leaders. So Monday, February 19th, 6 to 9 here in Vancouver is a live workshop, and Tuesday, February 20th, 12 noon is the webinar version, and I will be posting the links below. Until next time, remember, I believe in you, and I believe that you can create extraordinary success on your own terms and from the inside out. Bye.